If you've been scrolling through endless listings, watching video after video of 75-inch screens and still feel that knot in your stomach wondering which commercial TV actually lives up to the hype, you're not alone. I've spent the last few days looking at the specs, digging through what businesses say about Signage displays, and even pulling apart the little details that most retailers gloss over. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. What follows is the kind of rundown that matters when you're trying to decide if a TV like the LG PK640S is the right piece of hardware for your lobby, restaurant, or office hallway. First off, let's talk about the problem you're trying to solve. Most companies buying a large format TV for digital signage need something that can stay on for hours, look sharp from a distance, and be easy for non-technical staff to update. The usual pitfalls are screens that overheat, flicker after a few weeks, or require a full-blown IT team to change a single image. With that in mind, the LG PK640S promises a 75-inch UHD 4K panel, a webOS 25 smart platform with a built-in content management system, and connectivity options that include Wi-Fi, LAN, and even RS-232 for legacy control rooms. Those sound good on paper, but how do they translate to a day-to-day environment? I started by visualizing 3 common scenarios: a hotel lobby that needs a looping welcome video and weather feed, a fast casual restaurant that wants to showcase menu items and promotional offers, and a corporate office that prefers a rotating set of internal announcements and KPI dashboards. In each case, the display has to be visible from several meters away, stay bright enough under ambient lighting, and be simple enough that a receptionist or marketing associate can schedule a new slide without calling tech support. The first thing that stood out was the built-in CMS on webOS 25. Unlike a regular consumer TV where you'd need an external dongle or a separate computer to manage content, the PK640S lets you upload images, videos, and even live feeds directly through a web portal. For the hotel lobby, that means you can schedule a sunrise video for early morning, swap to a cityscape in the afternoon, and push a welcome to XYZ hotel overlay at night all from a laptop. The fact that the platform is designed for commercial use also means the firmware receives longer-term updates and security patches, something that consumer models rarely promise. That translates to less downtime and fewer surprise reboots during a busy checkout period. Next, consider the 16/7 operation claim. Most commercial displays are rated for continuous use, but many still need a daily cooldown period to avoid overheating. In field tests reported by LG, the PK640S can run 16 hours a day, 5 days a week, without degrading brightness or color accuracy. For a restaurant that's open from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m., that leaves a comfortable 2-hour window for cleaning and maintenance. You won't be stuck with a screen that suddenly dims after the lunch rush, because the panel is engineered to dissipate heat more efficiently than a typical home TV of the same size. Now, let's talk about the practical downside. The first trade-off you'll notice is the price point. A 75-inch 4K commercial TV sits in a higher bracket than a standard consumer set, and the PK640S is no exception. If you're a small boutique coffee shop trying to stretch a marketing budget, the initial outlay might feel steep. However, the cost can be justified when you factor in the eliminated need for an external media player, the reduced labor for content updates, and the longer lifespan compared to a consumer model that isn't built for constant use. In other words, the value comes from the all-in-one nature of the device rather than just the screen itself. Another nuance is the connectivity suite. While having Wi-Fi, LAN, and RS-232 is a boon for flexibility, the RS-232 port can be a bit of a relic. If your building automation system still relies on serial commands, you're covered. If not, you might find yourself never touching that port, which means you're paying for an option you won't use. That's not a deal breaker, but it's worth noting if you're counting every feature against the price. Brightness is often a hidden factor in Signage. The PK640S delivers a peak brightness of around 500 nits, which is enough to combat most indoor lighting conditions. In the hotel lobby example, the display remained vivid even with large windows letting in natural light. However, if you plan to mount the TV in a space with direct sunlight, think a storefront window or an outdoor patio, the screen could lose some punch. In those environments, you'd be better off with a purpose-built outdoor signage unit that pushes 800 plus nits. So the PK640S is ideal for interior use where ambient lighting is controlled, but it isn't a universal solution for every placement. Audio is another point that often catches people off guard. The TV includes built-in speakers, but they're tuned for home cinema rather than background messaging. In a hotel or office hallway, you'll likely need an external sound system if you want